All right, so this is going to be another food review on some soba that I recently ate with some of my friends, my share house friends. And this one is a soba place that I don't really know the name of right now. I'll definitely link down below like where it actually is and what it's called. But my friend is the one who found it, and I believe it's probably a Japanese name, I think. Either way, I'm gonna do a quick review on it. I'll probably show the name just to make it a bit more proper. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of a restructuring. So the previous one we ranked it on food and taste, price, and then the aesthetic of the place, the environment, and we mixed in aesthetic with experience. But I think for this one, we kind of had to separate the two because it just feels right. So we're gonna have four categories now, and we're gonna do like out of 10. So for the previous one, I'd say since we technically mixed those two, the previous one for tempura endo, definitely 10 out of 10 for the experience. So that would be a 39 out of 40 for that score. Okay, for this one, the soba is pretty like standard soba in general, but like for me, I really like soba, so this one like tasted good. It wasn't like the best soba I've ever had, so I'll probably give the taste an 8 out of 10. Pretty solid soba. But for the price, it was only 1100 yen for a full meal. So that was pretty legit. Like 1100 yen is, at least as of this moment, it's right about, I'd say $7, right about $7. So $7 for a full meal, like that's something you, you definitely can't get that in California, which is where I'm from. So price 10 out of 10 easily. And then we have the aesthetic of the place. It was a very, very tiny shop overall. Like for me, I didn't the out like, the outside of the store was nice. Like I just feel like Japanese architecture in general, a lot of stores are gonna be nice. So but going inside, it's pretty small and they only have, I think, 8 seats total. But because of that, this goes into the experience part now. So I went there with my share house friends. I don't live in a share house right now, but back then when I met my share house friends, so there was four of us, so we took up basically half the place. But there was no one else there, which I was kind of glad about because it made it easier to talk, and it also made it easier to talk to the owner as well. So that's what ended up happening, and he was a very, very nice guy. I think like this is something I don't really experience in restaurants too much unless they're really, really small restaurants, like the one I went to, where he basically actually just talked to each of us. And this was all in Japanese. We all talked in Japanese. I don't think he can talk too much English, but he basically went to each of us to ask us questions. So one of us is Japanese, another one is from Spain, and another one is from Armenia, and I'm from California. And so he's just asking us like specific questions about where we're from, like what's popular, what's well known there. He asked me about the California fires and whether or not I was okay that Trump is getting elected, stuff like that. He was a very, very like friendly guy. So it was a good conversation for all of us, and it was fun to participate in that. So the experience overall for that place, like honestly, was something like I would give it like a 13 out of 10 just because it was so unique and so fun, and you get to practice your Japanese, or I got to practice my Japanese. My other friends have been in language school for like a year now, so their Japanese improved a lot. So they were able to hold a conversation really well. I like sometimes would have to like ask my friends, how do you say this or how do you say that, or what did this mean or something like that. I was like, oh man, to see the difference of my friends who actually initially started a class under me now like better, like much better. Like it goes to show like it doesn't matter like your starting point, like just be consistent with your studying and continuously use the Japanese, you'll improve. But yeah, that's something that's something was still fun. It was like I still managed to like speak enough to get my point across, but I definitely feel like practicing a lot more after that experience. But yeah, it was cool. Like it's always cool to think about like how many cultures I got to meet while I was here in Japan, and how many friends are like from different places. And I'm sure it was cool for him too to learn about like each of us. I know so little about Armenia, like, and my friend showed us so many like interesting dishes and photos and stuff like that. So it was cool. It's really really great experience overall, and that obviously depends on whether or not you want that. But for me personally, I like whether or not you want to like talk with the owner and stuff like that. But this is a place where he's very friendly and you can definitely do that. So like I feel like I've never had that experience in America, in California. Maybe possibly once, maybe. I have to like search my memory for it, but for now, it's a lot more common in Japan. I've had that experience one or two other times as well in Japan. So great place to have that experience if you're looking for it. But that's about it for this one. So basically, the food was. Now I'm forgetting my scores. I said either 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. Um, let's just give it a 7.5 since I can't remember fully. It was solid. It was good. And then the price itself was 10 out of 10. The aesthetic, I actually didn't rank that one yet. So the aesthetic and the environment of the place, like it really depends what you want. For me personally, I like more spacious restaurants, so I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. It's like a cute little space, but there was nothing like particularly special about it. But yeah, maybe I'll give it a 7 out of 10 instead, just because again, like I feel like it could have been a bit more well designed, I'd say. And I want to be like fair with my scores. I don't want to be like just giving high scores just because the experience was good. Experience, I'll give it like a 13 out of 10. Like that was a great experience. Um, I'm not gonna do the math right now, but basically those are the scores for this one. And yeah, definitely a great place. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Well, I guess if you're curious to check it out, I'll make sure to leave like a link to the place's name and a link to like the map of how to get there if you're curious. Okay, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.